Welcome back to a new episode of Game by Thrones. Today, we don't have Matt in-house with us. He's actually remote up at his house in Ramsey, Minnesota, up near the cities. He'll be back next week in person, but we still have the three-man crew going. We got really good feedback last week over the new format, the new setup, so we appreciate you guys for that. And now I'm going to hand it off to Matt to kind of explain a couple new things that we have going here.
Yes, we're back. Week 2 of the new format. Super excited about it. Thanks for everybody tuning in and giving your feedback last week. So a couple things before we get started. We started a TikTok account. When was it, guys? Like 5 days ago?
I think 5 days ago, yeah.
5 days or so ago. How many TikToks would you say we've done? Like 12, 15?
No, we've probably done more like 20.
More like 20?
I'd say 20.
So we have a TikTok account right now. Zach, flash it up real quick.
Okay.
Go follow us over there. We've had we had one go really viral. It got like 140,000 views. It was pretty fun. And so we got sports content over there in a shorter form. And so if you guys like that, head on over there, follow. It's been a lot of fun. And then also we just launched our Patreon. And now this Patreon, guys, it's not something where it's like, hey, this is an amazing product. It's more of like, hey, if you want to support us, like this is how we can give back so that you guys can support us. And so we have 3 tiers for our Patreon. We got the Throne Crew, which is a bonus. You'll get a bonus local interview monthly, and that's $5 a month. We got Throne Friends, which is $10 a month. You'll get a 10% discount on merch, plus the everything from Throne Crew. And then also you get one question answered on the podcast every month. And then we have our last one, Throne Family. That's $20 a month. You'll get a 20% discount on merch, everything from Throne Friends, and then also a weekly shout-out on the show. And at some point, we may even start calling you guys. We'll obviously let you know beforehand, but just to get your take on something, if something happens, a news, injury, anything in the world of sports. And so if you guys want to support us, that'd be the best way to do it. We do have one more tier, but it's for sponsors. We call it Throne Partner. And so if you're a business and you want like an ad spot, or if you want your logo featured on the screen, those are 2 things that you would get if you were a Throne Partner. And so anyway, that kind of does it for the Patreon. We are coming out with merch. I'm not quite done with them yet. I know Zach and Chris really wanted me to have it ready for this podcast, but I'm kind of a perfectionist and I want the merch to be really just awesome. I want it to feel good. I want it to look good. And so we'll be releasing that next week.
We could say what items that'll be on there right away.
Yeah, so we got a short sleeve t-shirt. It's going to be like kind of a charcoal off black look with just the Game by Thrones on the back, big, and then a little G by T right here. We may do a long sleeve. We'll probably wait till fall for that.
Yeah,
but then we will have 2 different types of hats, a dad hat and then more of a fitted hat that will have G by T on it as well with a little crown. Is that it? Were we doing hoodies?
Were we going to do a mug or no?
We were going to do a mug. Yeah, we're going to do a mug too.
The
mug will be your classic logo as well. And we may just throw hoodies on there. I know we're coming up on fall here. You got football games you're going to be going to on the weekend, bonfires, things like that. And so we'll probably throw some hoodies on as well.
Yeah, Matt does a really good job. He has a good handle on not like the fashion space, but he kind of knows what looks good on
the fashion space.
The fashion space. That makes you...
Come on now. Come on.
Okay, the fashion stylist, Matt Throne. He's
yes,
pretty
sir.
good at stuff. He has a good eye for it. So we trust he's going to make a good product, and I think you guys are going to like it too. Even though we haven't even seen him yet.
Nope.
Matt's been kind of just building some stuff. But we trust Matt. Matt's going to make a good product.
Hey, I don't know if you can beat the Mario Kart Club T-shirts from high school, though. Shout out my friends.
I was just going to say, is that just like a random plug just for all your friends?
Dude,
those shout out the Mario Kart Club.
They were iconic. And Chris.
Tyler Rice
made them.
Did you know, Chris, that I wore that shirt for like the last 5 years? I finally lost it. I don't even know where it is now. We got to find it again.
It got its money.
It became a cutoff, but we rode that thing into the ground.
So we'll just get into the podcast now without further ado. We're going to do a Guess That Player again this episode. We're also going to have a game that we're going to play in the middle. It's going to be between Matt and Chris. You guys can play alongside at home. You guys can guess throughout. It's a little, I guess it's pretty much the same thing as the initials game on
Power Trip
on K-Fan.
Yes, K-Fan.
It's a really fun game that Matt and Chris have been a fan of for years. So they're going to go head-to-head with just athletes' names. For
Athlete edition, baby.
If you want to,
I'm
if you
hyped
want,
for
betting
this. Let's
odds,
go.
Matt would definitely be favored because he's better in quick thinking situations.
I would say you take a little bit to process a little bit.
I do.
I'm excited
Not
for
saying
this.
that you're dumb. You just take a little bit to process, take a little bit to go through your brain.
I'm dumb.
I would not say that, but you guys can agree or disagree down below in the comment section. So should we get into our topics? I think we should, right?
Let's do it. Let's go.
You want the first hint?
I think so.
Okay, let's do it. First hint for our Guess That Player.
Defense.
Defense is the first hint. Also, if you haven't seen last episode, the last episode, or sorry, if you watched last episode and couldn't figure it out, it was Terry McLaurin. Shout out to Andrew Olson for getting that right, who's also getting married next week. That's why Matt's coming down.
Let's go.
Andrew Olson, Andrew and Kieran, baby. But
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a really fun.
It will be a good time.
Be awesome. I heard we're going to the casino afterwards. I don't know if that's true.
Absolutely.
but
Are we actually?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what Andrew told me.
He did.
Okay.
I love how I said I don't know if that's true, but Andrew told me.
He told Andy and I. that
Literally
too.
the groom.
Okay. All right.
true.
So yeah, we're looking forward to that. Andrew and Kieran. Maybe you guys are watching this. Maybe you're not. But with what was I gonna say? Oh, sorry. The hint for this week, first one is defense. We'll drop hints throughout the show, and our first topic of the day is NBA Summer League. Chris, you kind of want to take off with that?
Yeah, I think the first specific topic within the NBA Summer League is what rookies are looking the best. And the first two that come to my head are both Jalen's.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Suggs and Jalen Green. Okay, they were the 2 and 5 picks.
Yep.
Both doing very well. You said you've followed some of the Magic or see some of the Magic fan tweets, and
They pop up
they
on
don't
my
even
Twitter.
They don't even want Suggs to play anymore.
Yeah, because they already know
So he
he's going to
doesn't
be
get hurt.
Yeah, they already know he's going to be the real
Now are
deal.
you thinking?
Did you see that
Cade
tip in?
Cunningham?
The
It was
tip in
insane.
dunk? Yeah.
That tip in dunk? Holy
Yeah.
crap.
He got up
It was
for that
nasty.
one. Cade Cunningham has been well, but he's taken a lot of shots to get his points.
Mm-hmm.
I think he shot 22 times to get 17 the other night.
Literally, I know they want to develop guys. Obviously, in the summer league, want you guys have guys get experience with the ball. But Cade Cunningham, it should literally go through him every single possession. There's some possessions.
Oh,
where he's
that- yeah,
sitting
that's
on the
what-
3-point line.
Yeah.
It should go through
That's
him.
probably
every
what
single
he'll
possession.
even do in the NBA, like on the
No, yeah.
Pistons this year. Like obviously you have Killian Hayes, but still, like you probably want Cade to have the ball in his hands every possession.
Well, Killian Hayes, they've been raving about his defense. He's going to be more the defense guy for that team. And this Pistons Summer League team is basically just missing, I think, 2 guys from their legitimate team.
Grant.
Jeremy Grant, and then Isaiah Stewart was second-team All-Rookie last year, but he's been hurt.
That's rough.
Yeah. So,
But hey, lots of minutes for Garza, hopefully.
That-
That would be great.
that gets into our second guy that we like, Luka Garza. He's played 2 really good games thus far.
16 points on 5 shots.
6 shots.
6 shots.
5 for
The thing
6.
about him is it's like obviously he's put up the right stats. He's looked good from like a NBA player perspective, but even just like body type, he looks like a different person with that 30 pounds
He's
lost.
very
I saw a
lean.
clip of him. I was like, holy crap, you actually look like an athlete now. Like not that he didn't before, but he looked like a college athlete before because he had, he just had a little bit of extra to him, and now it's like.
I mean, he'll never
This dude's
get up and down the
cut.
floor at breakneck paces, but
He
he can move a little faster.
He
You
sprints
looked
every single time. He
good.
works harder than everybody else. So he's moving a lot better than what we saw at Iowa with him.
Yes, absolutely.
That little fadeaway. He had
That
a little
fadeaway was
in the paint,
nice.
and then he's like talking crap. He's always been like a really passionate player. He talks a lot. And Cade Cunningham is just cool to see the #1 overall picks just hyping him up and getting after it. Cade Cunningham,
I
think,
love
was,
it.
Was mic'd for that moment. I can't remember what he said, but it was hype. Watching that little clip.
It was sweet. You got a little Dirk fadeaway from about 10 feet.
It's just we're not used to this as Iowa fans. Not really having an NBA presence.
Speaking of that, Joe Wieskamp.
Joe Wieskamp.
Last night, 17 points, 7
so.
boards, 4 assists and 2 blocks, something like that.
In a wild game, Trey Jones had the game winner. Ended up having like 34
Trey
points.
Jones has been scoring so much.
When we watched yesterday, he
The
didn't
couple
look
minutes
great.
I watched, he looked awful.
Yeah, but then he ended up with
Is he-
34, 8, and 8. So
He's second year, isn't he?
Yes.
Second year player. Was he on the Spurs last year?
I don't even remember.
Was he in the G League? I don't even
Spurs are
remember.
just the
Like
most boring team ever to watch, especially when they're
Yeah.
not great.
Now they're kind of getting a little reload, though.
Joey's camp will help our
Little Joe-
Spurs
we'll definitely
watchmanship
watch it
a little
now.
bit. Yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
To tap into maybe some second-year guys, and this is just kind of a plug for our favorite team, but a guy that may be the best second-year guy in the Summer League, Jade McDaniels.
Yeah.
He's averaging like 16 and a half, 7.5 boards.
He's going to be one of the best wing defenders in the NBA.
He is very exciting to see what he can bring to the team we already have.
And then it's cool to see Jalen Noel trying to take that point guard role. He's going to fight for some minutes at the backup one behind D'Lo with Ricky Rubio gone. He's more of a score-first guy, but the minutes, I think the analytics point to him when he would play a little bit of point guard last year. I think they were pretty good. With him on the floor as a point
I was
guard.
just going to say, before you said score first point guard, he is just a certified bucket getter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was put on the basketball court to do.
Yep. So two Washington guys, Jalen Noel and Jaden McDaniels, in back-to-back drafts for the T-Wolves. So thanks to Washington for not being a very good program, but always having really good players. So they drop in the draft.
They play in the Pac-12.
They say Jaden McDaniels. People didn't really realize how good of a defender he was. I think he was the number one player in his class, or up there. But they say they didn't realize how good of a defender he was in college because they just played a 2-3 zone all the time.
Yeah, probably.
I think Dane Moore, he's a great Timberwolves follow on Twitter.
Fantastic.
And he has a great podcast. He just dropped a podcast with head coach Chris Finch and Gerson Rosas.
Yep.
And Dane Moore is awesome. And I remember him tweeting, like, thank God Washington played a 2-3 zone so then Jaden McDaniels could drop to the Timberwolves.
He was
the steal of the draft last
Absolutely.
year. And
he's someone that, like...
If you did a redraft, he'd be top 15. Easy.
He already was. Like, we drafted him like 16 or 15.
No, he was 28th or something. He's like 28th.
I thought he was the second one.
No, because Nets made the playoffs. I don't think it was in the 20s. It was late teens.
I gotta look
late
that up.
teens. It was late teens.
Now we have to look this up.
I'll say top 10 then.
I don't think it was 20.
Pick 28. Pick 28. Let's go.
Actually?
I told you. He's picked 28.
But it was the Nets pick, though. That doesn't make any sense.
Because we traded the guy on the Thunder now,
pick.
Alexei Polvizov. How do you say his last
Poku?
name?
Poku?
Yeah.
He's 28.
Yeah, Poku.
So we
Yep,
traded
Poku.
the pick that we had to get him later in the draft.
Yeah, because the NBA
which is
draft
incredible.
has the dumbest trade rules in the world.
With draft rights and...
But here's the thing. You can't just be like the NFL where if somebody trades up, they pick the guy. No, if you trade up, the other team picks for you. You wait to pick for them, and then you swap.
It's
so
weird.
stupid.
It's weird, definitely. Even Adam
I wonder if
Silver
there's-
this year's draft was confused. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm just reading this off, and it seems
Makes
really
no
confusing.
sense.
You think there's ever been GMs?
28.
You think there's ever been GMs that have screwed the other GM over after they agreed? What's like obviously there's etiquette there.
Then you just take out the trade. Then the trade's not a thing.
Yeah, I think
Then you just have to decline the trade. Yeah.
That's true. Well, how does that? I wonder how that works. I guess if you already put it in, that would make sense.
Like I'm sure there's some type of period. Hey, they didn't agree to our terms, so we can nullify it. And if you're going to do that, then you're not going to get the guy that you want. So.
Yeah, and then also the GMs just blackball you from trading. That's true.
Facts.
Dang. But yeah, what I was gonna say about Jade McDaniels is that he is someone, and this may be controversial as a Wolves fan, maybe not, but I don't care what it takes. I don't want him in a Ben Simmons trade if we were to trade for Ben Simmons.
No,
I don't
absolutely
care.
not. Yeah, absolutely not.
That's non-negotiable. And if that means we don't have a chance for Ben Simmons, I don't care.
I'd give up.
You're only selling low,
Well,
absolutely.
Malik Beasley's like a given, probably.
No, I
part
know,
of that
but
deal.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons on the T-Wolves would be pretty fun. Put him at the 4.
Would be fun.
Have him just defend.
we have enough offense on the starting 5, especially since Rubio is not going to start because he's on Cleveland now.
Yep. Yeah, so Summer League's been fun. If you're ever bored, there's not much for sports going on now. With the Olympics done, it's mainly just baseball. We'll talk about
Just
what's
some
going
training.
on in the MLB.
Preseason
life
games are coming up.
Yeah, but
Last
people
night
really
and
only
this
watch the
weekend.
first quarter, and after
I
that,
know.
it gets a little boring unless you're a diehard. Turn on some NBA Summer League. There's some really good young players. And to go on the Jalen Green thing, the second overall pick, I know he's good. He just doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't do much for me. I'm not a huge Jalen Green guy. He's good.
Really?
I'm just not a huge fan.
I like him. I
don't
think he's
mind
one of those
him.
guys where it's
The only thing that stinks about Summer League that we've talked about is a lot of hero ball, a lot of one-on-one.
a lot of guys like
try
that.
to
It
it
show
reminds
what
me
I
of
can do.
JUCO. Chris, it
And I
reminds me
get
of
it.
watching you at Nyack.
What's that?
It reminds me of watching you in JUCO.
I got a story for you then. Okay, so after my freshman year, I went to a.
By the way, Chris played at Nyack for basketball.
Yes. What was
I
it?
went to-
2010 to 2011? 2
2012.
years? 2012? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to Milwaukee for JUCO camp, whatever, and they put us on teams, and I played the 4, which I usually did because I was a shooter, wasn't very athletic, whatever.
Like 6'2",
And the coaches, they had just had like random coaches for each team, and this guy's guarding me, and he's like up in my face, and coach yells, "Take him off the dribble," and I'm like, I want to turn around and be like, dude, that's not my game, but I tried, got just clamped. It was not good.
Chris,
But then also, if guys drove, I'd spot up and never get a ball.
yeah.
So like it was the worst possible situation for me.
Do you remember that game where you had 30 your freshman year and like it wasn't even many outside shots. You were just like finishing inside
that team
like
was
crazy.
trash.
Isn't it Waldorf JV?
No, it was
I thought it was Waldorf JV. I'd be like, oh, that's an accomplishment.
I had 17 against Waldorf JV.
Oh,
and like 18 shots.
Powerhouse. Shout out
Chris, I
Waldorf,
wish-
Chet Helming.
I wish, Chris, you would have had the ability to pull up the way you do now and the way you did in high school, where you just like could take any shot you wanted. I would love to have seen what that would have looked like at Nyack. That would have been so awesome.
Yeah, that
I mean, he could have. He probably just got yelled at.
Oh, 100%. I
Yeah.
got to pull
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
So what are you looking at here? What are you trying to look
I'm
at?
trying to go back to our schedule, but you guys can keep
Chris
talking.
has a couple funny stories from college we can tell someday. How he tried dunking on somebody, didn't even get close, broke his wrist.
I was high though. I was
then
up
he,
there.
got dunked on a couple times by one guy.
He tried dunking on someone too, right?
First guy,
Matt, I literally just said that right before. Like I literally
Sorry.
just said that. You are not.
Sorry, I was looking at this guy commented on one of our last video episode. So I was looking
the
at
first
it. Sorry.
first guy I got dunked on ended up going small D1, so it's
That's an accomplishment. That's kind of your claim to fame there.
we did beat a top 5 team though in their place. Shout out Brandon Bell.
Brandon Bell.
Talk to you about him.
Brandon
anytime.
Bell. Oh
Chris claims he's the best player he ever played with. I didn't get to see a whole lot of him.
Easy. Up from the cities. I don't remember what town.
Lefty, 6'5"
Lefty.
point guard.
Yep.
Yeah, he was good. Chris said after college he started playing like some runs with like some pro guys, just like some pickups, like overseas dudes.
I think he might have been in one with like Jalen or Crowder at one point.
Jay
But it
Crowder?
was somebody. Yeah.
Okay, so we got to hurry this up a little bit. We're moving at a snail's pace. I don't even know what Chris is looking for here.
I'll just keep looking. You guys move it on.
So the next topic is the MLB. The Field of Dreams game just happened last night. Matt, did you watch the game?
Honestly, I'm ashamed to say it, but no. I watched on Twitter.
Oh my Lord. How?
You're an Iowan. You had to watch the game.
I know. Well, I don't know. I can't
There's
remember what I
literally
was
no
doing
excuse.
last night. I know. I didn't
Well,
watch it.
Field of Dreams game, White Sox versus the Yankees, probably two of my least favorite teams in the
Facts.
MLB since we're Twins fans.
Yes. Yes.
But the White Sox, I kind of like a couple of their players, even though I don't like the team as a whole. But the Yankees, we're always gonna hate the Yankees. Like the Yankees are just
Always.
screw them.
Nobody
But
likes
the
the
game last night was unbelievable. There's 8 home runs. Obviously, it was. If you didn't know, it was played at the Field of Dreams. What do you call it? I guess farm.
On site at
On site at the Field of Dreams. It wasn't on the actual
Where it
field they
was-
filmed on, but it was played on a field that they created right next to it, like an actual legitimate MLB field. And I'm sure they're going to do this every year now. They have to. It was so much of a success.
Yeah, they said yesterday they'd come back next year.
Okay. And shout out to before we get any farther, shout out to the farmers. They told a story on the telecast.
Oh my
the farmers, there was a
yes.
huge storm a couple days beforehand, and it ruined, or it, made the corn stalks not look as pretty. They were bent and stuff. So I don't know how many metal rods the farmers that run it had to buy. But they had to buy it
1,100, I believe.
1,100, and they had to stick them to the corn so it'd stand up straight again.
Zip tied them.
Zip tied them.
Wow.
And credit to them though, the corn behind the outfield looked awesome.
Yes.
It did. When you see a ball go flying into it, it felt like I don't even know how to explain it, but
I mean, we're just Iowa farm
incredible.
kids, man. I mean, it brings back nostalgia.
Kind of made it funny when there was 2 White Sox guys that took ears of corn off the stalk and tried to eat it, thinking it was sweet corn. And a guy goes,
spits it out. Yeah, not
that's
a good
so
deal.
funny.
Not a good deal.
Oh my gosh.
But the Field of Dreams game, absolute success. In the 9th inning, the White Sox were up 3 runs.
you could not have picked a better ending.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
So
Lord.
what, a 2-run from Judge and then a 2-run from Stanton to take the lead?
Yes.
And then Liam Hendricks gave up both, so he gave up 4 earned, blew the save, ends up getting the win. But then in the bottom of the ninth,
Zach Britton.
they got the first guy out. Zach Britton got the first guy out, and then I can't even remember how to pronounce that white side. Zavala, I think that's how
he
it said.
walked.
He walked. He worked. He was down 1-2, ended up working a 3-2 count, ended up walking. And then Tim Anderson, one of the most exciting players in baseball, one of the best hitters, just a great personality for the game of baseball and the
Swag.
direction that it's heading. Yes, he has a ton of swag. Hits an Oppo home run.
And
Absolutely
you knew
electric.
it was gone. Right away.
Absolutely electric. And then there's fireworks flying right after it's hit. They had that set up absolutely perfectly. And somebody described it, I think it was King of the Fourth Quarter on YouTube. It was a movie script ending off of a game that is played there because of a movie. Like, it's just kind of ironic how it works like that. It was literally a movie script ending.
Like you said, I hate both those teams. I don't know if I hate two more teams in the MLB more than them. But I literally had goosebumps watching that ninth inning.
It was awesome.
It was insane.
It was awesome.
That drone shot too of you see Anderson rounding first, then you see the jumbotron. It was just it was perfect,
perfectly put together.
And then the closer coming off the field, you see him rounding third on the jumbotron again. I saw a tweet about that. I was like, it's so true.
I've watched the walk off probably 30 times.
It was a great scene. It was great for baseball. Hopefully,
and there was only 20,000 people there. No,
less than that.
Not 20.
Fewer than that, right?
What was the number?
I would say around 10K.
I thought it said 20 on Twitter.
Was it 20?
Tops.
Okay. I thought I saw that number on Twitter.
Okay.
I do not know though.
But it sounded like a full stadium.
Yeah.
When he hit it.
It was really, I mean, you can hear all the players too. They're all going nuts. It was cool. And to have 8 home runs, which is the most exciting thing in baseball, a home run. To have 8 home runs, I guarantee you there's a ton of people who don't normally watch baseball that watched that game last night and now are slightly more fans of baseball because
I would agree.
That was great for the game of baseball.
That was a big night. Absolutely.
Yes. The MLB finally did something right. The marketing going into it was awesome. It was a job well done by MLB, and that does not happen very often.
Absolutely. Because the MLB is probably the worst out of the 3.
In terms of
marketing, it's not even close. It's not even close.
How they do
close.
it. Yep. And that leads right into what I wanted to talk about. MLB blackouts.
What was the story? Were there many blackouts in Iowa last night because of the game? I know people were tweeting about it going in.
I don't know if it was blacked out in Iowa. It might have been closer to there. But there are 6 teams, depending on what area of the state you're in, that you're blacked out from in the MLB.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, they wanted you to actually go to the game instead of sit home and watch it.
Yeah.
But nowadays,
that's not a thing now. No.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
You're going to go if you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And now the TV deal for us, especially what was FSN North and now Bally Sports, we have to stream every single Timberwolves and Twins game
because they can't come to a deal with these major cable networks or streaming services.
It's so stupid.
It is really, really dumb. Shout out MLB66.ir. I know it's probably illegal, but it's a great site. Check it out if you want to watch. If you want to watch MLB games, MLB66.
I've never watched an illegal stream. Okay, for the record, never.
Don't worry.
Never in my life.
I don't use this site, but if you want to, you can.
I've heard people use it.
They say it's awesome. They say it's a great site.
They do.
They say you can watch multiple games that you're betting on at the same time. Open up different tabs. They say you can do that. It's they that said it, not me.
I would never do something like that.
Exactly. So,
to wrap that up, Rob Manfred, be better.
Be better.
Please.
Be more like the Field of Dreams promotion and everything. Just keep that momentum going, MLB.
Yes, 100%.
Next up is NFL preseason buzz. Matt, this is more your wheelhouse. You have kind of you follow the beat reporters. You follow, kind of see the highlights online. What are your general thoughts right now? I know your dude, Rashad Bateman and Elijah Moore, I think they both got hurt. Both rookie.
So Rashad Bateman tweaks his. Yeah, Rashad Bateman. I'm going to go on record. Rashad Bateman and Elijah Moore are going to be incredible in the NFL. They just are. And Rashad Bateman, tangent. Lamar Jackson is a way better passer than you think he is. He is not a running. He's not a running. What was it? What's it called? What's the word for that? Yes, pocket running back. I was trying to think of the word. I was thinking running. He is a good passer. Like, look into analytics, look into stats. He's a good passer. Just watch him make throws. He has had the worst receiving core in the NFL his whole career. Like, you got Willie Snead as your wide receiver too. Marquise Brown, all he can do is run deep. So anyway, Rashad Bateman goes down with a groin injury. They claim it's soft tissue. I heard he had surgery. They claim he'll be ready for week 1, but we'll see. We've heard this time and time again with NFL coaches. They say it's a soft tissue injury because they know they can get away with it before the season starts. And all of a sudden, the guy's out 6 weeks. So I'm praying for my dynasty leagues and my fantasy leagues, and also just for Rashad Bateman's sake and Lamar Jackson's sake that he's okay. Elijah Moore, I haven't heard any news. All I've heard is that he hurt his quad, and we don't know how severe it is. Hold up.
What'd you see?
Yeah, there's still I thought I saw for a second something, but it was just talking about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, nothing yet on Elijah Moore either. But what I will say is that Elijah Moore's been he's been the most impressive rookie in camp so far, and obviously you got to be careful with your training camp news because, especially if you're playing fantasy football, like guys, there'll be one good report about a guy, or like Ramondre Stevenson last night for the Patriots against the Steelers. He took that 91-yard TD to the house with like a minute left. It's like that looks great, and now everyone's gonna go out and get him, but it's like he's playing against backups. He does not have that kind of top end speed that people think he does. And so anyway, people get really excited about training camp and preseason.
It's also cool though because I saw people tweeting that he's not good. He doesn't have the speed. It's a cool moment to see him ball out.
It is a cool moment.
Like it's still NFL players that he's out there playing against.
For sure.
Still, I'm not saying everybody go out and get them under fantasy, but that's such a cool moment for a guy that I didn't know much about him. I didn't even hear of him before last night, and he should be able to make the roster all because of I think he had 2 touchdowns.
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
And so it is
preseason game.
Training camp news is fun. You just got to be careful with certain guys, and so especially beat report. Two beat reporters will say 2 completely opposite things, and so like, oh, this guy's looking great. Oh, this guy's looking terrible. So you just got to be careful with it. But those 2 injuries, we don't really know what's going to happen with that. We had 2 games on last night. Jalen Hurts looked really good. Eagles, who'd they play again? I actually forgot.
Steelers.
I thought it was Patriots Steelers. Yeah, it was Eagles Steelers, wasn't it?
Steelers, yeah.
Gosh, I'm an idiot.
They're saying
Redskins.
They said
My
Joe
bad, my bad.
Flacco's elite, and he threw like a
sorry,
wide receiver
football
screen to go to the
team.
house.
Yeah, it was Patriots and Washington football team.
Okay.
Okay, so Steelers Eagles. Yeah. I don't know if you saw that Dwayne Haskins throw, but that was just awful.
Dude,
I feel bad for
was
my boy
on the
Dwayne
run,
Haskins.
Okay. And it was awful.
And it was wide open.
And guys, the thing is though, he stepped up and he wasn't like on the run to his left or right. He was running up.
No, he was running
into it.
straight.
He was running into it. Yeah.
Like
Hey,
anyway,
what did Marcus Astros just tell us the other night? Dwayne Haskins carved up top 10 defenses in college.
Yep. Marcus Estridge.
Marcus, that's college. Bud.
Yep. He's a huge Ohio State guy, so he's just gassing up Dwayne Haskins to us. But Chase Young, I don't know how many possessions he played last night, but had an absolutely dirty move to get a sack on Cam Newton. And they say Chase Young, like Ron Rivera says Chase Young, obviously they're always going to talk about how hard they work, but apparently Chase Young's put a lot of work this offseason on his fluidity, trying to get, more nimble to bend around offensive linemen, and he's been working on his hands a lot. And if you watch the move, it's like, oh my gosh, how do you get by him? But I don't even know how to explain the move. Look it up if you haven't seen it. It's just a very powerful / short move that a lot of tackles are going to have nightmares about. Like, the Chase Young is going to go off this year. I'm not even a huge Chase Young fan. Like, he's a really good player, but he went to Ohio State, so I can't.
Is it like a punch?
It was
move him.
It was just kind of. I saw it twice. I just know it was a really simple, and it didn't look like it was a crazy move. But that's what makes DNs great, when they can just pull
Very
off the simple
things.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
So Chase Young's gonna be a monster this year.
And on the other side of the ball, Mac Jones looked really good. He was like 13 for 18. I mean, he was like 13 for 15. But he had it was like 90 yards passing. But he looked pretty good. It looked like I know Cam didn't look very good, and we'll see what happens this year. I'm a firm believer though that they're gonna roll with Cam for at least the first half of the season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And they're just gonna literally throw him at the goal line. But I'm pulling for Mac Jones. I don't really want to. I don't know if I want to say exactly how I feel because of our friends. Oh, I lost you guys.
You're still right here. We can literally see you still.
No, we can't see Matt on the phone.
Mark it.
All right. Yeah, I lost you guys there. Sorry about that.
There we go.
We
yeah,
good?
we could see
you
you
hear me?
pretty much that whole time. Yeah.
Oh
We
yeah.
hear you, yeah.
I was just saying that like sometimes I think like I don't know if I want to say exactly how I feel about a player because our dynasty league, but who cares? Mac Jones, guys, like he's gonna be fine in the NFL, I believe, but he's not someone to go out and get on your fantasy team. He would have to put up Tom Brady type numbers to be a top 10 quarterback because of these running quarterbacks. And so
Yeah.
anyway, he looked good though. I'm pulling for him as a guy.
Though. Mateo, Dwayne Haskins looks great. Go get him.
Let me go.
I'll pick him up.
Dwayne.
Give me a first.
Let me pick him up first. Yeah, let me pick him up. Then we can say that.
Mateo, then also go grab like JT Barrett. Go grab like Troy Smith. Go grab every other Ohio State quarterback. All right, just make your full team of Ohio State guys.
Terrell Pryor.
Terrell Pryor, Braxton Miller. Just do everybody.
Yes.
We
They do have. It's crazy how many iconic quarterbacks they do have.
Yeah, it's wild.
For
Don't
college.
pan out.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
wild.
But I will say that like we're fastly approaching the NFL season, guys, and so the way the podcast is going to work, we're really going to try to focus. We are fast. It's crazy. We're like what, 25 days away, I think.
Something like that.
Like it's actually crazy to think about how fast summers went. But this is a podcast that we're gonna stay on top of like what's happening currently. So when we hit NFL season, we're gonna mainly talk NFL.
yeah.
We'll hit some stuff with NBA. We'll hit some stuff, but it's like get
Whatever's
ready for a lot more
happening
NFL talk. We've held off a little bit more, but as we get closer to the season, we're gonna break down everything in terms of what we think is gonna happen in the season, and such. So
We'll give you our best bets of the week for college and NFL.
I mean, we're just
Try to make you some money.
We're not gonna promise that they'll hit, but we'll give you our best.
but it's fun. It's
shots.
entertainment.
It is fun.
It's entertainment.
No, the bets we pick are always locks, but something just happens to happen.
Yeah, it's not our fault. It's
not our
just
fault.
Yeah.
something
Fluky.
goes wrong. Something goes wrong. It's not our fault.
Yes.
Something
Yep.
unforeseen.
Anytime we bet on something, that's what happens. Exactly. This team gives up a run they shouldn't have. Me and Zach always talk about that. They went to blow in the save if we didn't bet on them.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly. I guess going on to the next thing, the throne duel.
Hint two.
Hint 2.
Hint
Okay,
2.
we're giving hint 2 for this week's mystery player.
So hint 2 is rock and roll.
First or second hint is rock and roll. Take that however you will.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, Matt wins.
It is Jimi Hendrix.
go.
It is literally.
He played sports in high school. I have no
Okay.
idea.
Hey, we're going to go on to the best bet to win Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and
Ooh.
MVP. We're just doing NFL right now.
This
we
is
can
so
hold off on NBA, right? We
interesting.
can do that later.
Yeah, we're just doing NFL.
Yeah,
NFL.
I meant NFL when I typed
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
So NFL Rookie of the Year, Matt. Who's your pick? Who are you going with?
I kind of wanted to see the odds first. I mean, I have a couple.
I tried looking on FanDuel. I couldn't see anything.
You couldn't see it.
I could only see like division winners and Super Bowl winner.
I think the Rookie of the Year is probably going to be between. I'm scared about Trevor Lawrence, guys. I will say that. Urban Meyer looks like, I don't mean this in a, like, he seems like a great guy, but he just seems like he doesn't get it because this dude is saying that Gardner Minshew is still in competition. Like that, to me, that does literally nothing for your team. You can think like, hey man, you got to earn it, rookie. It's freaking Trevor Lawrence. You drafted him as the first overall pick. Give him the respect that he deserves right away, and don't play these mind games with him. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what's going to happen to Trevor Lawrence, but I do not have faith in Urban Meyer, so I'm not picking Trevor Lawrence. I really am not.
Gardner Minshew
If
said
I
he's
would,
not
though-
taking a. Hey, Gardner Minshew said he's not taking a poop for a while because he doesn't want to be number 2.
Yes, he
don't
did
want
say that.
everything
I
to do
saw
with
that
number two.
tweet.
Yep.
That's
Gardner
so
Minshew,
funny.
one of the best personalities in the NFL, but he should not.
He's
be
a great
in
guy.
competition with Trevor.
No, he
Lawrence.
should not.
Let's be real.
No, he should not. But my two picks are gonna be if I had to pick between two people, it's gonna be for me 3.
So
It's gonna be between
we're
Jamar
giving 3
Chase.
picks,
So
or we're
Matt is
giving-
picking
No.
the whole
I'm-
field.
I'm
Matt is gonna
rounding
pick
it.
every single rookie.
Listen.
So you guys know.
I'm thinking about it, and then I'll narrow it down. Okay, the 3 that it's between for me would be Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Jamar Chase.
Well,
and
isn't there offensive and defensive rookie of the years? Pretty sure, aren't there offensive
Yeah.
and defensive?
I
Yep.
think
There's
there is.
offensive
Yeah,
and
I was thinking just offensive.
Okay, let's
but
go
if I have to
offensive
pick
first.
one, I think Jamar Chase can have a great rookie season, but the quarterbacks always win. I'm going Trey Lance. He's going to start by week 3, and he is going to be unbelievable.
I'll go out and say I'm going to pick Jamar Chase just because he's on my Dynasty fantasy team. So, Jamar Chase.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it, man. Chris, who you got? Offensive Rookie of the Year, NFL.
Let's go with the guy with the most arm talent in the draft, Zach Wilson.
I was going to say, and he also has the most firm shot at starting.
He is starting. Like,
no, the most firm shot.
Day one starter.
Trevor Lawrence.
Playing every game. Sure.
Yeah,
yep.
Exactly.
No, Zach Wilson is getting a lot of hate right now. The dude was drafted number 2 for a reason. This is not the same Jets team that has freaking Adam Gase at the helm. Like, respect on Zach Wilson.
No, Matt hates Adam Gase.
Matt is.
Oh my gosh,
he's the player killer.
He is. I will show you. I will bring the research sometime if you remind me.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah,
he is a player killer.
It's just Matt has a vendetta against him.
He is awful.
I'm surprised you didn't pick your boy Kyle Pitts.
I mean, I don't know if the Falcons will be.
Here, can I tell you why Kyle Pitts will not win Rookie of the Year?
Because he's a tight end.
Because the highest receiving we've ever seen from a tight end was Evan Ingram in 2017. It's receiving yards. It was like 722 yards.
He'll break that. I don't think he'll get 1,000 though.
You better bet on that if you think he's going to break that.
I think he'll break it.
Kellen wins. Like I don't know. I mean
I also have Kyle Pitts on my Dynasty fantasy team.
He is the best tight end prospect we've ever seen. The only two that compare to him are Evan Ingram and Kellen Winslow Sr. But neither of those two guys have really performed the way we thought they would. They're not Kelsey and Waller levels or even Kittle levels. And so we'll see. I'm pulling for Kyle Pitts. I believe in you, Kyle Pitts. I hope that you prove history wrong. I really do.
Okay, so defensive Rookie of the Year. Who you guys got? Chris, you just wrote something down, okay?
I'm going to this guy because I believe he's just super, what's the word? Not utility. What's the word in football?
Versatile.
There we go.
Micah
Parsons.
I was thinking about him too.
Micah Parsons, linebacker for the Cowboys. I don't know what they'll do with him. I mean, they have Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith. I know neither. Van Der Esch was hurt and Jalen Smith wasn't good.
Jalen Smith hasn't been good for a while.
So I think there's opportunity. He could play some sort of like
scroll up a little bit on that.
Cash backer, like a mix between a end and
farther. There's no defensive players.
Linebacker. There's no defensive guys at the top.
Okay. So I was thinking Micah Parsons as well with Chris, but I have not heard anything about this guy during camp, so this could be an awful pick. But I remember they were hyping up J.C. Horn coming out of college right before the draft. They said this dude could be a lockdown corner. So I'm going to go with J.C. Horn. Joe Horn's son, right?
Gotta be.
Pretty sure it's Joe Horn's son.
Yeah, where is he? Where did he go again? I can't.
South Carolina.
Corner. No, Carolina. He went to the Panthers.
Oh, went to. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. So the thing about defense is it's like I don't know the defensive rookies as well because I'm so into fantasy, which I do need to follow. If anyone who's listening, or you have any guys that cover more like NFL like defensive side stuff, because obviously fantasy guys can cover offense well. Let me know because I would love to know more about the defensive players, especially rookies and stuff. But if I had to go for a defensive player, I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm saying his name right. I think I'm gonna go with Patrick Surtain. Is that how you say it? Surtain?
I think it's Surtain.
Surtain. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Patrick Surtain. I think that I saw a picture of him on Twitter yesterday. He just looked like a stud at the Vikings practice.
So Matt's gonna pick him because he saw a picture of him and thinks he looks like a stud.
Well, and he went to Alabama, and Alabama, especially on the defensive level, Alabama players always just seem to be dominant. So,
yeah, no, that's a good pick. We picked, I think, the 3 top defensive players in the draft.
I mean, that's what you got to do.
We did, yeah.
So moving on to just regular defensive player of the year in the NFL. Would you be a fool to pick anybody else besides Aaron Donald?
Yes.
Who are you thinking?
T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt, you think?
I think that's the only other guy that's got a chance.
Snubbed these past few years. That's
the
all
only other guy
Steelers fans talk about on Twitter. How much T.J. Watt gets snubbed, how disrespected he is.
Daniil Hunter, I would not put it past him either.
I think he'd be more
Chris, that's what I was
going to.
Yeah. But if he returns to what he was with 2 inside guys that can hold down the floor.
Yep.
I actually was going to say Danielle Hunter, Chris. I think he like obviously
too.
to not pick the obvious pick. Like everyone probably thinks Aaron Donald, but if we're not going to go with, hey, this is the best bet, it's like I would love to bet on Danielle Hunter. I think he is. Whew.
Danielle Hunter, I know he's a monster and everything. He's on our favorite team, but he might not even be like the most likely on our defense. I think if Eric Kendricks can take one more step, he has a shot.
He's already the best.
He's already a first-team
But
All-Pro.
here's the thing, though. It's way too hard as a middle, like a middle linebacker.
But he's a pass defender, too. He can get picks. He can get pass
He needs a ton of
deflections.
interceptions, and he'd have to outperform the cornerbacks.
Ball-hawking safety that has 8 or 9.
I'm just
saying.
saying.
He's not going to be a guy that has 12 to 13 sacks.
He's led that's true. He's led the league in pass deflections for linebackers.
No, yeah, that's just kind of like that.
I agree with you. I just think it's stacked against him.
You have
his
the most
impact,
obvious defensive stats, and then he does the not
probably
like the really coach-liked ones.
Probably the
like
more
PBUs.
impactful, but not as pretty.
Yes,
correct.
But Eric Kendricks, I think, is really underrated, even though he started getting some praise over these past couple of years. If he can take another step, I think he puts himself into that conversation.
He's got
especially if there's a good
defense.
especially if the Vikings have a good defense, which they should.
Yes,
so
sir.
Up next is Offensive Player of the Year. What are you guys thinking?
Stephon
Diggs, wide receiver, Offensive Player of the Year.
I do think I agree with you, Chris. I think he's going to be. I think he overtakes Devontae this year. Wide receiver 1 in fantasy points.
Okay.
But you go, Zach. I'm gonna still think.
I don't even know where I was gonna go with that. You can't go wrong with a top QB.
Do MVPs usually like who have been the previous offensive players of the year?
Should be the offensive player of the year too, because it's always.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who was it last year? Was it?
But I changed it.
I don't even know who won it last year. Was it like a
I
Josh
wanna see
Allen or
if
something? And
MVP
then Patty
is-
Mahomes won MVP.
well-
Who won MVP? Was it Patty Mahomes?
Derrick Henry won.
Derrick
last
Henry
year.
won MVP, dude. That's what's weird.
No. Offensive player of the year.
Offensive Player of the Year. Okay, so how often is it the
Aaron
QB
Rodgers
is the
was
Offensive
MVP.
Player of the Year? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Duh.
Yeah, Michael Thomas was 2019 because that helps us. That means we don't have to pick.
Okay.
Probably just take quarterbacks out of it.
So
2018 was Patrick Mahomes.
Offensive Player of the Year. Should I go with another guy on my Dynasty fantasy team?
Just, dude, go all in on it, bro. Do it.
Kyler Murray, Offensive Player of the Year.
That's a great pick. It's
Offensive
a great
Player
pick.
of the Year.
He could be. It's tough. I mean, I just have to. I'm gonna go Christian McCaffrey again. I just think, in terms of the amount of he's gonna put up
16
insane
games.
numbers again.
Yep, that's a
If
good
he
pick.
plays the full
That's a really good
season,
pick.
it's gonna be him.
That's a really, really good pick. Okay, so that moves us on to the MVP.
Ooh.
I just have to go with Patrick Mahomes. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest quarterback ever, and you guys can fight me on that. I know there's a solid amount of people that already believe that too, but there's a lot of people that say still Aaron Rodgers. I thought it was Aaron Rodgers before Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady wins a lot, but if I need one
Tom Brady didn't have the most natural talent.
yeah.
He
wins games.
Yes,
he wins
he's-
games. If I need one QB to win me a game with any sort of roster, any sort of coaching, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes in NFL history, and that's going to be my MVP pick. And I'm really taking a shot. I'm really just taking a bold.
Yeah, you're just throwing a
shot
dart throw.
by taking
An absolute dart throw.
Steep odds.
That is such a
Steep odds.
risky take by me. It's so risky.
I'm
Yes,
actually
it
going to go
is.
risky.
Going risky. Okay, what do you got?
I am
Kirk
too.
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins MVP.
Oh my
If Kirk Cousins
gosh.
wins MVP.
Think about
Yes.
it. Let me tell you. Hold on. Hold on.
Stop.
I would love it. We're Vikings fans. We love it.
Hold on. Let me back it up.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Let me back it up. Stats last year. Okay. He was 68% completion percentage, almost 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, only 13 picks. He's got Jefferson and Thielen.
Only.
Hopefully a decent wide receiver 3 between Amir.
If they're like a 13-4
Osborne.
team,
Well, correct.
he has to be in the
Correct.
conversation.
Do you know who I think the biggest factor
Yeah.
is? Irv Smith.
If he can
The
be,
He
main
could-
starting tight end.
yeah.
He's a
He's
matchup
a
nightmare.
sneaky grab in your dynasty and fantasy leagues. This dude could be a top 10 tight end this year, top 8. Like
Yeah, I
they say he's
wanted
looking
to,
really
but-
good.
And I know
They say he's looking really good.
in the Offensive Player of the Year. but I think it deserves, even though they're both Vikings guys, Jefferson and Dalvin Cook deserve some type of talk in the conversation of Offensive Player of the Year as well.
100%.
Yep.
Those guys are both dogs. Dalvin Cook, he'd have a shot at MVP if we're playing really well too.
He could. I think it'd be more of Offensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to get
Yeah.
over 2,000 yards. And
I get what you're saying, Chris, and I know
1,500 and then like 600, 700 receiving or something.
well,
something
okay,
insane.
yeah.
On a
yeah,
win.
and with
That's my all-out pick right there.
with the Kirk Cousins thing, we get what you're doing. We know you're not saying like, hey man, like this is what I think's gonna happen type thing. It's more
No,
of
I think
hey,
just thinking of
like look out for this. This is gonna be my
knowing what the team could be.
pick.
He's gonna put up numbers if they're good. I mean, and the defense is gonna be better.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Which
not
will
gonna
win us
have
more
to
games.
outscore every team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's be honest,
No.
the division isn't great besides the Packers.
Yeah.
Jared Goff now plays quarterback for the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it doesn't matter who plays quarterback in Chicago when we go there, but Chicago's defense isn't what it was either.
This is true.
Yep.
I'm just kind of thinking
Yup.
ceiling Kirk could do it.
Yeah. He could. If you guys both went, is it my turn?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's your
MVP?
turn. Yep.
Okay, so obviously I'm the biggest Patrick Mahomes fan, and he's probably gonna win it. But
I don't think you're the biggest Patrick Mahomes
you're
fan,
not
but
the
I
biggest.
understand what you're saying.
We get what you're saying, Matt. Yep.
so two guys that I think I could win. I'm gonna pick one. Joe Burrow is number one. He's probably not going to, but he could. Guys, I'm huge on Joe Burrow. Great offense, horrible line, but he's pretty nimble. Hopefully, he gets back to this knee injury. He's gonna have a lot of volume, a lot of weapons, and he's way better than you think he is. So anyway, Joe Burrow number one, but number two, my real pick, Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar is way closer to the 2019 version than he was to the 2020. And I think now that he has Rashad Bateman, I think he's going to be able to show off his passing ability. He's had to run over the past 3 years. So
Hey, Matt,
I'm going
you
Lamar
should just
Jackson.
Just say your top 30 picks, and then you can be right if one of them goes.
Hey,
You
whatever's
can just be
easiest, bro.
I
Whatever's
take
easiest.
all the quarterbacks.
Literally every single QB, I think, is going to win MVP. So after the MVP conversation, we're going to get into our game, the athletes' initials game. Big Matt, what are you thinking, or do you want to maybe explain to them what the initials game is, because you've watched it the most, you've listened to it the most?
Yeah, so basically, like we said before, it's comes from the Power Trip Morning Show, K-Fan here in the Twin Cities, one of the biggest morning shows in the nation. And basically, the game is Zach is going to give us two letters. For example, TS would be two letters. How many items are we doing, Zach?
I think we're going to do 9. So
We have 9 items. That means one of us has to, there's going to be 9 items. All are going to have the exact same initials. TS is just an example. We'll see what the initials are for Zach. And every item, he's going to give us clues for. First one to get it between me and Chris for each item gets a point. Whoever has the most points wins. And my camera just froze again. So annoying. It's fine. So basically, yeah, that's kind of it. Your name is your buzzer. So Chris, we have to say our name to buzz in, and Zach will tell us to go ahead. And we'll go from there.
Matt's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage since he's on FaceTime and not in person. There's going to be a little bit of a delay when he tags in. So he's going to have to be just that much quicker on his buzz-ins. Okay.
All right.
The initials,
Athletes only, right?
Athletes only.
Athletes
So
only. Yes,
athletes,
this is athletes only edition.
current or old athletes?
College
It's
and
either
pro.
college and more just pro.
Okay.
Because I think every person on this list went to a pro league of some sort.
Okay.
Okay.
But the initials for this episode, I mean, maybe we'll do this maybe once a month or something. Can't do it really every time. But the initials are AR.
Okay.
A-R.
So as
Chris, by the
contestants,
way.
they can.
Sorry, Zach, go
Matt,
ahead.
you go. No, you're good. You're good. Go,
I'll
Matt.
say, Chris, by the way, if you think of guys now, you can write them down and keep them for later.
Yeah, you can write them down and keep them. That's what I was going to say. As contestants, when you hear it, you can, if you think of one that you think will be an answer down the road, you can write it down and almost be thinking of that as you're hearing the clues. So it can just give you that much more of an advantage.
And once you guess, if you're wrong, you're out for that one.
Yes. Yep. You are out for the rest
There's
of it.
only 2 people. So if you guys both guess, then I just have to reveal the answer.
Correct. If we're
Okay.
both wrong. Yep.
Yep.
Just so you guys know, I do not usually on the initials game. They have all these hints, well planned out and everything. I just have the names, so
You did right.
God almighty.
I might have to look up some stuff. Or
Hey, that's what I used to do when we did it with ourselves. So you just figure it out.
So, the first athlete, JoJo, is the first hint.
Matt,
Yep,
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I thought it was.
is
Wasn't
the
sure.
first.
Let's
So 1 point, Matt.
go. His brother
By the
Jordan
way,
is married to JoJo. Bachelorette. It helps having a wife, boys. Let's go.
Exactly. So the next one, I don't know if I should highlight that. No, I can just remember.
I got it written down.
Okay. The next one. I don't know how vague I want to be with this right away, because usually right away
Just
the first
start
hint is
super vague.
very,
You can be up
very,
to 6
very vague.
clues. Yes, you can go up to 6 clues. So be vague.
Okay, I'll just say baseball.
Chris.
Okay.
Alex Rodriguez.
Yes, Alex Rodriguez.
I was literally. Oh my gosh, I have that written down. Dang it, Chris.
I didn't know if I wanted to use it that fast to be sure,
But because there's the risk if you get it wrong, you're out the rest of the
know,
round, and
I
then you
know.
give a free one to Matt. But one of my hints was going to be owner of multiple Minnesota teams, as in the Twins and the T-Wolves and the Lynx.
just so you viewers out
The
there,
Twins?
listeners, the two guys I
Yeah,
wrote
he's
down,
an owner of the Twins, Matt.
the two
I did
guys I
not
wrote
know
down.
that.
He's not the owner. Oh,
It's a
trying to
joke.
do
It's a
something
joke on
else.
Twitter that Alex Rodriguez owns the Twins because he always killed us.
the two AR.
Oh
names
my
wrote
gosh, I
down
went way,
are
went way over my head. I didn't even understand the joke.
So this is okay. Next one. So it's tied up 1-1. This next one for AR. I'll just say right away, this guy has one of the best hoop mixtapes of all time. He is at least top 3 in hoop mixtape history.
You've talked to me about this.
Hoop mixtapes is basically your high school highlight tape for basketball. He went to Duke.
Chris.
Yep.
Austin Rivers.
Austin Rivers.
Gosh dang
yes,
it, dude.
sir. Look
Frickin'
it
A.
up. If you're a basketball fan, go look up Austin Rivers highlight high school mixtape. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable.
I'm about to
He's
lose.
a monster. Now he's just an NBA role player. Okay, so next one. Recently traded. I might be wrong
Matt,
on this. Okay, yep.
Anthony Rizzo.
Anthony Rizzo.
Ooh,
You guys are
wow.
getting
Let's
these
go.
quick. You guys are getting
Good
these
one.
so quick.
Good one.
Okay, so it's 2-2.
Zach, you
I
can
will
do
say
something that
this-
trips us up too.
Yeah, but it's hard to think of on the spot.
I know it is. I know it is.
This next one is probably the least known player of this entire list. But to us, we'll know the name. I believe all 3 of us know it, and there's a certain reason why. So, AR, number 5, tied up 2-2. Syracuse. Second clue is basketball. Third clue is probably behind John Wall. He was probably the best player on NCAA 10.
Matt,
He was one of our favorite players to
I
play
don't
with.
have it.
Okay, Matt, go.
Andy Routens.
Andy Routens.
Wow, nice.
He was a great shooter. I remember I played
Yes.
online against somebody, and Andy Routens does not miss. I was
Dude,
All I thought
he
of-
was
I gotta hate this
amazing.
for this.
Mello, Hakeem Warwick, Eric Devendorf, Johnny Flynn.
That's it.
That's the only ones
Eric
initially that just come to my
okay.
head. I couldn't think of any others.
Yeah, Andy Routens was a monster. He's a really good shooter in college. I think I don't know if he ever made an NBA roster, but I'm sure
Floodgates
he played
might
pro,
be
pro
open
ball
here.
overseas. So it's 3-2, Matt.
Let's go.
Next one. Next one is World Series champ. After winning that World Series, I believe he was traded during the next season, the following season. I don't know if he was traded or signed. Regardless, he switched teams the next season. He has been hurt for the past, off and on for the past year and a half, I believe. Plays with Now he plays with the 2 best players in baseball.
Chris.
Yep.
Anthony Rendon.
Anthony Rendon of the Los Angeles Angels.
That was a good one.
So, tied up 3-3. This is actually coming down to the wire.
This is good entertainment.
I don't like this.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm going to look up just a quick hint for this next
I'm
one. It's
hoping
tied
you
3 to
have
3.
the one name I've thought of.
Okay. I actually looked up blank players' initials with AR. Like, I tried looking up the literal initials of sports and just picking the most known ones out of them. It was harder than you think to find it, but let's see. So this next one, I'm trying to find his college. Penn State.
Matt.
Yep.
God.
Allen Robinson, baby.
Allen Robinson. Are you kidding
Had that
me?
one written down, baby. Let's go. My
God
boy A-Rob,
dang
he's on
it.
my dynasty team. This dude finally has
I know,
a
I was
quarterback
gonna
in
say
Justin Fields.
Matt,
A
I was
dog.
going to say probably an inappropriate term, but Matt likes Allen Robinson a lot.
Matt gets one, he wins. I gotta get.
That's
2
true.
in a
You have to
row.
get these next 2 to win. Okay, I'm sorry. I need more hints on this dude. These next 2 guys,
You'll get better as we
you guys will know them. You guys know them. So I will say former football player.
Chris.
Huh.
Ahmad Rashad.
No.
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 Chris, I'm gonna hear them all now.
I mean, hear them all as in whatever I can find for just random hints. Like, I don't have hints.
I do
lined up.
have one random football player written down here that I may pull the trigger on here. We'll see.
That
Okay.
was it.
He has 84 career touchdowns.
Not this guy.
He is a one-time Super Bowl champ.
Actually, there's a chance I can tie if Matt can't get it.
Yeah, there's a
That's
chance
true.
I can.
And then I'd have to
Which
I'd
you
have
know,
to
Zach's
somebody.
psychologically right now. Zach is not going to make it easy. He just can't. This dude doesn't have the hits predetermined.
Well, I don't want to just give it to you.
No, I know.
He was a wide receiver. He played in the late 90s. Sorry, just the 90s as a whole. Played for the Colts, Falcons, Browns, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City, and Oakland.
God.
That helps.
Yeah, that really helped.
That's fine. Last hint here. Just do
Last
one more.
hint. Who? I don't really know what the kind of his, not claim to fame, but like what makes him notable. Like he had a really good long career. 10,000 receiving yards from Flint, Michigan.
How many hints you giving here?
This
That's-
doesn't help.
yeah.
It doesn't help.
Oh.
That's fine. That's
Doesn't
fine.
help him at
That's
all.
fine. You're going to have to count me down at some point here.
Okay. Yep.
I have no.
Matt, you have 30 seconds. This is going to be tough.
You can do less
Wish I
than
could get-
that because we got to keep it going. I don't have much.
Oh wow!
I'm just going to go. This is literally just a guess. I don't even know if this person's real. Andre Roberts.
Oh, I thought you had it.
That was
Oh,
close. That was close.
Andre Rison.
I know the name
I
now.
don't even know
that
if I know who that
I
is,
saw
honestly.
it.
I kind of sounds familiar.
Never
but-
would have gotten.
When
that.
you said Andre, I was like, what?
It's gonna,
Okay.
it's gonna freak out.
So
I
it's
can tie.
4-3, Matt, going into the 9th one.
So
This is
Chris
the
has
last
to
one
tie
I've
here.
listed.
Okay. Yep.
Chris has to tie you.
All right.
All right. Defensive tackle. Went to Alabama. Has an apostrophe in his first name. It would actually. I'm not doing
Matt.
this right now. What's up?
God dang it. Oh.
Ashawn Robinson.
Yep.
Yep.
I was gonna.
Let's
say-
go.
Ashawn Robinson.
I did not know if that was Oh, is he a Lions
I
guy?
can't even see it. Yep, he's on the Lions.
Oh,
Sorry, he's on the
man.
Rams now. Was
Rams
drafted
now.
by the Lions. Played a few.
Oh,
few
I
years
was
for the
so
Lions.
nervous there. Woo!
Yep.
Let's
So
go,
Matt
baby.
wins
Robinson.
5-3.
I
That was
had
pretty good.
Robinson. I couldn't think of Ashawn. I was thinking Aaron with not two A's.
Oh,
I knew that was
totally.
correct.
No, that was fun. I would love to do that monthly. That was super fun.
Yeah.
Though The one guy I had written down, Zach, that I thought you were going to do because he played for the Vikings for like 5 games was Aldrick Robinson.
Aldrick Robinson. That would have been a little bit more too particular because at least A'Shawn Robinson, I think he's a first rounder.
Yeah, no,
From 2016.
Dang. That was good.
Yeah, so
that was really
Matt
good.
wins our first ever athlete initials game.
Should we do winner has to be the host of the next one, or do you always want to be the host?
I feel like I don't know. What should we do there?
Or loser?
That'd be fun. Yeah, let's do that.
How about loser has to be?
Yeah, loser, because then winner just keeps wrapping it up.
Keep
Yeah,
going. Yep.
Okay.
you win and
So next
winner
time,
stays.
whenever we do this,
Winner stays, baby.
probably won't be the next podcast.
Record on that note you have the record. Matt won.
Matt won 5-3.
We don't need the.
We need the
points,
score on there.
1-0.
Matt 5-3.
All right. So we're moving into the local pro and college on mainly our favorite teams.
Yep.
Starting with Vikings training camp. One of the coolest things that happened recently, late this week, the Vikings had a joint practice with the Broncos. What?
Do you want to give a hint? Because we're getting a little bit towards the bottom. Another hint.
Oh, yeah.
hint?
Sorry.
Yeah, let's do
So
it.
cut that off. Chris's third hint for the mystery player. Guess that player on this episode.
The top high school recruit in his class.
Mm-hmm.
There's number 3. But anyways, Vikings had 2 days of joint practices with the Broncos. Von Miller, a DN for the Broncos, or linebacker, whatever he's listed
Edge
as.
rusher.
Yeah. Started the skull chant with the fans.
That was hype.
Some people
Super
got on video.
hype.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It wasn't
Hey,
Sean Payton in the NFC title
Wasn't mocking
game.
it. He was
Wasn't
actually
mocking
getting
it.
into
He was
it.
actually doing
He's a free agent next year, they said, right?
That's what they're saying. They
He
said bring
is.
him to
He's
Minnesota.
Come on,
getting
baby.
a little old, though.
He is
okay.
getting
A
old.
little
That's
old.
okay. You can never have enough pass rushers.
That is true.
He's still good.
I'm just saying.
We also run a 4-3. He's more of a 3-4
Yeah,
edge
he's
guy.
a stand-up guy.
He is a 3-4 guy.
That's right. You can just have him stand up as a DN. I don't know.
Right in the middle, just split
Third
the D
down. Yeah,
tackles.
there you go. But yeah, that was a really cool thing to see from Vikings training camp because they had the joint practices with the Denver Broncos. I believe those are wrapped up now, and they are playing tomorrow on Saturday. We're recording this on Friday, August 18th or 13th. So tomorrow is the Vikings preseason game. I'm not sure if we're going to drop this tonight or tomorrow. It depends on how long it takes me. But yeah, so the Vikings preseason game tomorrow. I'm not sure how much the starters are going to play.
One series.
I don't think at all, right?
They said it's going to be typical
I don't think Dalvin's
Zimmer.
playing
Probably not.
because Dalvin said
Probably
a
not
couple
smart
years
for a
ago
running back like that, yeah.
that Dalvin did say 2 years ago he wasn't expecting to play. Zimmer played him, and he took one to the house in the preseason game. But
I
don't think
remember
he's
that.
expecting to
That was
play.
hype.
I don't think he's expecting.
Kirk
to
will
play.
get a series.
Yep.
Thielen will get a series, maybe. Maybe a couple starters on defense get a
Who are some
series.
backups we should look out for?
I want to see what Kellen Mond's got,
I want to
honestly.
see. I want to see who wins the backup quarterback job.
Yeah,
Between
I'm pulling for Kellen
Stanley's out,
Mond.
between Jake Browning and Kellen Mond.
Mond really lost time there when he had COVID.
Lost a lot of time.
It was like 10
Browning
days,
got so
wasn't
many
it?
reps.
Browning literally ran a whole practice by himself.
Multiple.
For 5
Well, I
days.
mean,
'Cause
oh,
Kirk was
one
a
of the
close
main
contact.
Signed Case Cook.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, we had no other
Yep.
quarterbacks.
Yep. Yeah. So people are impressed with Jake Browning. His stock rose a lot.
Wide receiver 3 spot between Amir, D.D. Westbrook, who still isn't full. He's been doing stuff, and
There's
then
a Blake Prohl that had been coming
KJ
on,
Osborne,
but he tore
got
his,
hurt.
Yeah, he tore his ACL. A lot of people were sad about that.
So wide receiver 3, Amir Smith-Marset, which I want, or D.D. Westbrook, and KJ Osborne is kind of what it's looking like.
I was listening to, do you guys know Courtney Cronin, the Vikings beat reporter?
I know the name. Yeah.
Yes.
She's awesome. If you guys ever listen to Purple Daily with Mackie and Judd, or PA actually has her on now too. She's a great follow on Twitter. I love her, and she was saying that Kate.
Chill.
Whoa, Matt, you're married.
Whoa.
Dude, chill,
Calm down, bud.
chill.
You guys are so dumb. No, but she was saying KJ Osborne has looked so good, and that he is he's a notch above both Westbrook because he's been out, and then Amir Smith-Marset right now. So we'll see. People are loving some KJ
Although
Osborne
Zimmer
right now.
did say Amir's going to be a good offensive player.
And
Yep, and that wasn't-
player, and they say that's like the highest praise Mike Zimmer.
The way that she was
the
talking
highest
too, it wasn't like they've performed poorly because obviously Didi's been out, but it's more just like they've been so impressed. This is what they thought KJ Osborne could potentially be last year, and he just did nothing after.
I saw somebody tweet
first
early in
punts every
camp
time.
that they felt bad, something like this. They felt bad for Amir at Iowa because they didn't use him completely correct.
Which is completely
mainly
true.
just a
We saw
deep
glimpses
Yeah.
of that though.
kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting. That's for sure.
We saw glimpses of that. That reverse he had against USC. Him as a kick returner, definitely a versatile guy. He can use his speed, good with the ball in his hands, and he's had some.
He's
good.
He's very fast.
He's had some good highlights during training camps. That's good to see.
Defensively, the Patrick Peterson's going to start one side. Bashad Breeland right now is
looking like the
listed
two.
as the starter.
Okay.
Cam Dantzler could push him. I assume
the nickel will be
Matt-
back.
Wait. Dantzler's not starting.
According to the unofficial depth chart that they released.
I'm going to be pissed if that doesn't change before the opener.
Well, Breeland isn't bad.
Yeah, Breeland's a solid player. But at least we have depth. At least we have depth.
At least we do
have
have
a corner
depth,
that gets
you're
hurt
right.
every single year.
The main spot, though, is the safety opposite Harrison.
Yep. Xavier Woods looks like he has it.
He has to, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. But I did hear that, what's his name? Chris, I told you about him.
The North Carolina guy.
Yes, what's his freaking name?
I don't
Troy Sloan or something like that?
Troy Bolton.
East
It was
High.
Troy Bolton, yeah.
From East High. He's a Wildcat. It's now or never. Get your head in the game.
He runs the team.
His
very
discography is just awesome.
Yep. Little undersized, but
very
it's like
vocal.
5'9".
Wanted to go to wanted to go to the U of A,
Yes,
University of
Albuquerque.
But ends up deciding Cal Berkeley for basketball and theater.
A West High nightmare. West High guys, having to face him 4 straight years. Anyway, Miles Dorn.
Those are for our High School Musical fans, by the way. If you guys
yes,
that's
which we were huge High School Musical fans as kids. But
while I'm looking at the name, the weak side linebacker Nick Vigil, I think is how you say it. Sounds like he's got that.
He said, "I've never seen this much talent on a defense before,"
and I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah,
when you go on the line, Daniil, Pierce, Tomlinson. Wanham looks like he's got
Tomlinson.
the defensive end, but then you got Sheldon
Weatherly
Richardson.
behind.
I heard Weatherly is in front of him though. I don't know. Is the depth chart different?
I mean, regardless, they're interchangeable. They're two solid DNs.
Very good.
And Wanham's on the up and up.
Yeah, he's the one that took down Aaron Rodgers at Green Bay. That was awesome.
But yeah, I saw somebody tweet. It's weird. It's weird that the Vikings all of a sudden have 4 good defensive tackles.
Miles Dorn.
Yes. Yep. Miles Dorn. That's his name. Yep.
He's listed at strong safety behind Harrison.
He's behind Harrison.
Okay, but all I know is that supposedly Harrison Smith, is not someone who just gives out pleasantries, and he was just talking him up. Supposedly, really? That's what I had heard Courtney Cronin say on PA's show.
We mentioned him the last podcast too, but Kene Nwangu from Iowa State. He's gonna find a spot on the roster if you're that fast.
That is
do something.
That is the only time I'll ever like a Cyclone, when they come to my team.
Yep, and do well. And
Caleb, you're leaving to them. Sorry.
Dalvin says Kene's picked up protections on the first day that took me a while to pick up.
Dang.
So there must be some type of football knowledge there that's going to help him to go along with his speed and athleticism. They're trying to unlock his abilities.
He would have been a very good college running back, but he had Breece Hall in front of him. Maybe the best running back in the country.
Yeah. Does that take us into our Iowa State talk?
I think we might as well.
It goes into our Iowa State talk. The Big 12 blow up. So what's the deal with Texas and Oklahoma, Chris?
So I've heard within the next 5 years, if they're going to do this, they have to do it, because I think their TV deal runs out, the Big 12 or something.
Okay.
So Texas, Oklahoma want to go to the SEC. Oklahoma would be just fine. Texas is not back. They haven't been back. Sorry.
They have big issues,
Sam
man.
Ellinger that said that.
I think so.
Yeah,
We're
back. Sorry, I don't get flagged. Horns down.
Yeah.
Okay. They're gonna struggle.
We're not even Iowa State fans now. I like doing this. I like doing horns down.
But I think if that happens, which it looks like it's going to, Texas and Oklahoma leaving, the Big 12 is going to be like a glorified MAC.
Yeah, it's like a step up from the.
But they don't have any blue bloods anymore. Mm-hmm. So I think in my opinion, within the next 8 to 10 years, all there's going to be is 3 super conferences: West, Midwest, and East. I think that's what it's going to be.
Well, how does that?
Wild. That'd be really wild.
How does that factor in? So you got this.
Big 12, how many teams do they have? They don't
They have
have
10 now.
Yeah. So you're going to have
Take
8
away
left?
2. They'd have to do something. They'd have to combine with somebody, or just teams go to separate conferences.
Do we want Iowa State in the Big 10? I would say so, yes.
I would say it, yeah.
I'd be fine.
Better
You
at
add
just about
Iowa
every sport
State-
than like 3 or 4 teams.
You add Iowa State to the Big 10 West, now you're going consistently every year. Wisconsin, Iowa State, they're going to be decent to very good.
Northwestern.
Minnesota's been up. Northwestern has good years. Sorry, Tyler. Nebraska doesn't cut it. Maybe if there was the 90s, we'll count it. I had to.
Hey,
I'm
Taylor.
sorry.
Hey, what
I'm
about
sorry.
what about the Taylor Martinez bet with the Heisman? You're gonna cash in on that, right?
Adrian Martinez?
Adrian Martinez. You guys made a bet like 2 years ago.
We did. We don't never
Sorry, T.O.
between us. We don't remember what we exactly bet number wise.
I remember you telling me
But
we bet
we
in the
did.
next 3 years Adrian Martinez is either not or going to win.
I said
Heisman.
not.
That's
You
a
said
pretty
not. You
bold
said
bet
yes.
from T.O.
To
Oh
give
my
straight up odds too.
gosh.
Straight up
He
odds.
gave straight up
So we don't have
odds.
to talk about that. Yep.
They can't remember the money amount, but yeah, it's not looking like it unless Wait, he's still there, right? He has one more year, or is he gone?
No, he's there.
Okay, he has one more year.
I think
okay.
so, yeah.
Well, he got benched last year for somebody.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he didn't.
McCaffrey. Yeah,
He's gone.
Yes, Luke McCaffrey,
Where
right?
did he go?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
He wants to be a
running back.
running back, maybe.
I think so.
Something like that.
I don't know.
I definitely have to brush
but
up on my
anyways,
college football
We've
going
kind
into
of
the
we've
year.
kind of
Same.
crapped on the Big 12. Not Iowa State, but Iowa State's ranked preseason number 8.
They return everybody, like
Return
22 of
literally
24
every starter.
starters.
This should, and on paper, that is the best team in Iowa State history, and it should be on the field. Now, you can never factor in injuries. You never know what will happen there. They should have a very good chance of going to the college football playoff, which would be sick as an Iowa fan. But you're going to have one loss, and it's going to be to Iowa. So
At least it's early on, so they can bounce
whatever's
back
gonna
from
happen.
it, though.
Oh, no, I know. That's the best part.
Isn't that crazy how like sometimes teams lose later and it almost is counted more against them?
Yeah,
the
that's
season.
why it needs to be at least 8 teams.
It really does badly.
16 would be fun.
16 would be a freaking blast.
The way-
oh my
Isn't si-
gosh.
The way Division 2 does it, or FCS,
FCS.
FCS.
whatever they
Yes.
say.
Division
Dude,
1
that would
AA.
be so
There you go.
fun. And it's not
agree.
like these guys are playing 16 games already. Like they're college athletes,
home
just lengthen the
games.
season a little bit.
Just take out the cupcakes, and you'll make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll add a couple, but
Yeah.
not
It-
everybody also
It
plays.
would be a lot of fun.
every
I think
game.
16. That's the cutoff. You can. They say
You
this
can't
every
do
single
more than
time.
that.
You can never go higher than 4. I think 16 would be the ultimate cap. You can never go through 32. Football just isn't a game you can have that many games with. You'd have to substantially cut down the regular season.
Correct.
And a lot of these guys want to have a chance to go to the pros, and they've been sitting out of these bowl games. But if
Right.
they're in the top 16, they're going to play in these games.
Exactly.
Because
Can
it
you
boost their
imagine?
stock?
Like that would be such a fun time of year. 16 teams. What?
It'd be
like
amazing.
A month of college football playoff.
A month of college
Oh,
football
my
playoffs.
Lord.
Holy crap!
Especially if you get like the first or second round at your home field.
Yes.
The atmosphere at those places would be insane.
Oh.
It would be nuts. Kinnick, if they probably will never.
This is kind of a tangent,
soon,
but I saw a tweet last night. They go, people from Chicago probably know, but people from New York didn't know nothing good happens
After dark.
in Iowa.
Yeah.
That's where teams go to die.
Chris just thought that was the best tweet of all
It
time.
was the best. It was the best. Love it.
Like that type of stuff.
Well, he
Chris
wouldn't know.
just-
He didn't watch the game.
That's true. That's true.
I saw that on Twitter, so
But anyways,
Oh, he saw it on Twitter.
saw the best plays on
translate
Twitter
to
too.
Iowa. We at Iowa State 2 years ago. It was game day. They should come back for this year.
If
this
we
is
beat
gonna be a better
Indiana,
one.
if we
Yeah.
beat Indiana,
'Cause we
won.
play
beat
Indiana first?
week.
And we say we because we play for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
I've put it.
We're
I
actually
could
on
have
the team.
played. I
I've put
could have
it
played.
enough.
The coaches.
They say blood, sweat, and tears. I put in enough tears, some sweat. No, maybe I bled.
Maybe I don't
probably
think so.
not. Maybe I kicked
You
something.
rolled your ankle on the Tavon Smith touchdown.
That was
When we were jumping up and
Stephon
down.
Diggs.
No,
Vikings.
you rolled your. We were at your house.
So I've done it twice in my
Tavon
life.
Smith,
Big
you
Ten championship,
Literally rolled
Michigan
your ankle.
State.
The kids were sleeping. You had to be quiet while you were writhing in
about
pain.
broke my ankle.
Yeah, because you're jumping up
But
and down.
anyways,
That's
if
tough.
Iowa can beat them, be upper teens, Iowa State should still be number 8-ish. Almost a top 10 matchup.
They have to. It's Iowa. It's a rivalry game. It have to. But Iowa has to do their job and win week 1.
Correct.
So does Iowa State. I don't even know who they play week 1, but I'm sure it's a
guys-
game. Oh, you and I gave them a run 2 years ago, though.
Yeah.
You and
They
I
play UNLV
went to
after
they go
us,
to
I
OT.
think.
They go to OT 2 years ago. You and I
Yeah.
gave them a run.
That shifty
You and I
quarterback
scary.
who was awful last year.
Callaway or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully
They have a really
he
good
can
defense,
change
though.
it.
Really good defense. Corby
Yep.
Sanders, shout out my dude.
Corby.
Haven't heard a whole lot about camp for Iowa. I like what they're doing with the camera. Vikings are doing it too. They have a question each day, like favorite song.
It's really fun. It's
whatever.
just
That is so.
Makes it more
seriousnness
That is
of it.
that is
personable.
awesome. Whoever did that.
I don't know who started it though, because now
But-
I've
everybody's
seen a
doing
lot of NFL teams
A little
doing it.
preview for next week. We will have someone on that knows more about Iowa football camp and a preview for the year.
I am so excited for having people on like this. It's gonna be so fun.
Her name's Leah Van. She writes for the Gazette, I believe. She used to work at the Globe.
I did not know that.
She told me today
Wow.
she loves Jim Beamer, I guess.
Interesting.
Asked how he was doing.
Nice.
So we're going to have her on, get her thoughts, since she's been there. I think today was the first media day.
Okay.
That'll be
But
perfect.
the last thing, Tyler Linderbaum, supposedly 1.55, 10-yard split.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Faster than
We're-
Michael Thomas.
We're
gonna
sure
see
that's
that
not an
pro
error,
day
right?
combine.
Yeah. Are we
I mean,
sure
I'm
that's
not-
not just like someone?
might not
I'm
be
taking
that-
it with a grain of salt. He's a quick big guy though.
It-
You don't just
It
randomly
might
get a
not
time
be that
like that.
fast, but he can move.
Regardless, he has to be somewhere around that time.
He's fast.
Yeah.
Yes, for a lineman.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even if he's in the 1.6s, isn't that incredible for a lineman?
So if you can't tell, we are super pumped for football.
Was he the only guy that beat
Heck
Tristan
yes.
Wirfs in high school, or maybe his senior
Yes,
year or
he
something?
pinned him.
Pinned him. There's a clip.
That's
Tyler Linderbaum, yeah.
crazy.
Pinned
Matt, there's a
Tristan
clip.
Wirfs.
We'll have to send
That
it to
is
you, Matt. It's a
crazy.
cool clip.
It's wild.
And he's like
Oh my god.
a couple inches shorter than him. Just Tristan Wirfs looks like a mammoth.
Zach and I miss football so much. We went and watched Waldorf's practice. For
Waldorf
45
practice
minutes
yesterday during.
Are we gonna
during
get
football
Coach
camp
Finley
there.
on and do a little Waldorf preview?
Probably should. Coach
We
Finley.
probably should get Coach Finley.
Why
on.
not?
Coach Finley follows our Twitter.
He does follow our Twitter.
Let's do
This
it.
is true.
Watch this.
This is true.
If
I
you
can
watch this,
get
let
get
us know.
Waldorf players on too. We can get Gundy on here, McCoy.
Hey, Matt.
Let's go, baby.
Matt.
Mason.
What
do you
up?
know a connection to the Waldorf football team? I can't think of one.
I may deep in my contact book. You know what I'm saying? I'll pull some strings.
Oh. Caleb Bacon visited there. Maybe we can talk to him.
Bennett Eaton's there.
Bennett Eaton's there. There we go. We can talk to Bennett.
There we
Bennett?
go. All right, let's do it.
That was funny. That was hilarious.
Yes, Zach played at Waldorf for 4 years.
It literally like half the team is like some of my best friends.
Still there.
That's true.
Even though they have like 60 freshmen or something this year, they're saying.
There's a ton.
Holy
Freshmen
crap,
that I did
that's
not know.
crazy.
Yeah. But I have a lot of good friends there, so I'm sure we can get some Waldorf
Okay.
updates throughout the year. Fourth quarter's Warriors quarter. Warriors don't lose in the fourth quarter.
Do you know what else time it is?
4 o'clock.
Hint 4.
Oh. It's almost 4 o'clock too. It's
It is almost
3:58.
4 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Fourth quarter, 4 o'clock. Hint 4. Last hint: Houston, Seattle, Tennessee, Cleveland.
That's our last hint. If you know the answer, or if you think you know the answer, tweet at us at GameByThronesLM, and we'll retweet your tweet if you get it right. If you don't want to tweet it right away and you want to just text us the
Do
answer.
it.
And if you get it right, we will encourage you to tweet it at us.
Yep.
And that's what Andrew Olson got it right last week, and I told him, hey, tweet it at our account, and he did, and we retweeted it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Kind of cap it off. Kind of touch on. Can't really do a whole lot of high school stuff because
Yeah.
the seasons aren't actually going.
Mm-hmm.
But Zach had an idea of a couple players to watch. Who you got?
As in, this isn't. I don't know how to explain this. I guess Chris put it as newcomers to watch. From what I've heard, I've talked to Bennett Berger, who's the Lake Mills QB.
Maybe the names you don't expect.
Yep. And he was saying a couple freshman linemen are looking good. Aiden Stensrud obviously has immense football blood in his family. So so his grandpa played in the NFL for 8-9 years.
And his grandpa's
like
brother,
Oilers.
his great uncle.
Maynard, yep, played in there. And then his dad, I'm not sure how many years he played in the NFL. I know he was at training camps. I'm not sure if he made it 53.
Played at Iowa State.
Played at Iowa State, was, I believe, the Big 8 freshman of the year as a freshman there. One of the best athletes in Lake Mills history. Great football player, great basketball player. I don't know if he did track. I want to say he did track, too.
I would assume
I'm sure he was good at that, too. Andy Censored still plays pickup basketball with us, even after, being out of the
Tough
athletic games for a while. He's still in pretty good shape. So shout out Andy Stenserud. Aiden Stenserud, from what I've heard, is looking good, especially for a freshman. And also Wyatt Hanna. He's also a freshman. I was talking with Wyatt Helming, who's another Wyatt and a lineman. Wyatt was thinking maybe he'll play center. And then if that happens, they were thinking the 2 freshmen would play tackle. Don't quote me on that. Bill Burns,
Wyatt
Coach
Hanna,
Kurtz, if you guys are listening to this and that's not true, text me. But that's just what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Is a big kid.
They said he's
for
fast,
his age.
too. Yeah.
You know what I want to do sometime?
Very good wrestler as well.
What?
With NFL with Lake Mills football, I would love to bring on Coach Kurtz, and I want to talk about that triple option offense because it still amazes me to this day. Like,
Well, they run the flex
just
bone.
seems-
Didn't you guys just run I?
Yeah, but still, like, I want to talk about his. I want to talk about it because
He was
it's very
tweeting the other
interesting.
day, super intricate stuff. Basically, he posted a clip of them running, I can't even remember what the play is called, like mid-triple or something. And he follows a bunch of these flexbone guys and said, like, hey, any feedback? And they are just talking. Like, I understand the stuff, but it is kind of next level football knowledge that they're speaking on.
Well, one,
there.
you never played in that kind of offense.
That's true.
So that doesn't help. I mean, you get, like you're saying, the
But
basic.
a lot of the defensive
wording,
setups,
but-
and it's just everybody giving their feedback, and it's really cool to see coaches intermingling, feeding knowledge to each other. So yeah, Coach Kurtz is definitely a guy we're gonna have on during football season.
Absolutely.
He's offensive coordinator for Lake Mills. He has brought in the triple option flexbone offense, and it's been doing well for a few years now.
Speaking of coaches, though, probably should point out Jim Beamer's starting his 30th year of the volleyball.
He's Zarin
crap.
Egestall, our dude at KOW, Big Z. He wrote a
Big
really
Z?
good story about Lake Mills volleyball. I read it this morning.
They haven't lost back-to-back conference.
I saw that
titles
tweet.
since early 2000s.
And
2003.
he's almost to
Crazy.
900 wins.
Yes.
Jim Beamer,
That is
They
crazy.
lost last year, so
one of the best dynasties in North Iowa sports.
and he had a softball dynasty. I mean, maybe not as big at volleyball because he
he's
stopped
lasted
to
more
watch his
years in
kids.
volleyball,
Yeah.
He's lasted more years in volleyball. Every single year, Lake Mills volleyball is an absolute powerhouse to deal with.
Yep.
And I didn't
Dang.
realize they made it to the regional final last year, lost to Dyke, and Dyke swept everybody in the state tournament.
Won the state tournament.
3-0.
Dyke
The
is
whole state tournament.
insane, man.
Shout out Matt
Dyke's
Dove.
good.
Dyke
Go Big
girls
Blue.
sports is nuts.
Yep.
Give Matt a go Big Blue.
Go Big Blue? I've never
That's
done
what he
that.
says all
Go
the
Big
time.
Blue.
Go Big
Shout out
Blue.
Matt Dove. Does Matt watch this?
Well, he's gonna now.
He's gonna now because we shouted him out.
He has to now.
Shout out Matt Dove, one of Chris's closest friends. He's works for the Dyke New Hartford School District. in
Also a
certain
state
sports.
champion last year. The girls
Girls
basketball.
basketball team, assistant coach.
He was. You
Shout
know
out
what's
Matt
weird?
Dove.
So he
They
sent
won
a-
two. They won back to back. Their girls
He-
won back to back state titles in two different
Yep.
sports.
He
That's
sent
nuts.
He sent a snap this morning in where Nate Stanley's from Menominee, Wisconsin, or however you
Okay.
say that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought they're at a team camp or something. He goes, no, they went up there to talk with the former Wisconsin Stout coach about defense. That's how into it
Interesting.
that staff is.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does.
They're
It does.
a really, really good program in every sport, pretty much every year for their girls. Besides that, I don't know what else.
That's all we had.
I guess with Lake Mills football, a side note, Brady Hansen, one of their workhorses,
Yeah.
great player, had
Just
surgery on
had
his
shoulder
shoulder.
surgery.
He's not going to be playing football this year.
I don't even know if they know what it was yet. Is Casey said it was exploratory surgery because they couldn't see it because he already had surgery on it before.
Yeah, so they had
they
the
had to
surgery
go
just to
in
go
and
look.
see.
So they don't even
Correct.
okay. Yeah, so we wish the best to Brady Hansen recovering from his surgery and maybe another surgery to fix it.
Possibly.
Brady Hansen's one of the best athletes we've had and Lake Mills just sometimes can't buy a break with the injury bug. But we wish him the best for the rest of his Lake Mills sports career.
And good luck to all you that are healthy, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be fun watching you guys.
Yes, sir. Running that flex bone offense can be fun to watch. I believe do they still run 4-4 on defense?
I would assume so.
I'm not sure. It's some big shoes to fill this upcoming year, so it's going to be cool to see who fills those in. And volleyball, I know we just talked about it, but they're going to be good, really good again. Lake Mills just breeds volleyball players. So shout out to Mr. Beamer and that entire staff and that entire program, all the time you guys put in. Going into this season, I know you guys haven't even won a match yet, and I'm sure Mr. Beamer's letting you know that. You haven't done anything yet, but I'm sure you guys are going to have great success this season. We wish the best for Lake Mills cross-country runners. Our cousin Cade is in his first high school
his
sport.
first practice today.
Yeah, first high school
Let's go,
sport.
Cade.
Cade Van Rukel. Watch out for him on the
this
cross-country course. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Do we have anything to add, Matt? You wanna
I
give
lost connection
reminders?
there like a couple minutes ago, but I'm back.
Okay.
Reminders on what?
Patreon, just mention
Oh,
that at
sure,
the end
yeah.
if they missed it.
The Patreon link's going to be in the bio, and so if you guys, or the description of this video, and so if you guys are interested, again, we don't expect anything. It's more just if you guys want to, if you want to support us, we don't expect nothing. We want to give something back if that is the case, and so, that'll be in the.
That money's just going to go to improving our
their
setup
stuff.
and
Yeah, we got
equipment.
absolutely
Yep.
mics, camera. Equipment. It's a lot, and so and I'm excited about the way this is going. I think we're going to be able to bring on some awesome guests throughout the year. Football season's coming soon. It's one of the most fun times of year, and so I'm hype. And remember to follow us on
Absolutely.
TikTok as well.
Yes, sir. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Game by Thrones. Thanks for listening, guys.
Boom.